Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So, we're gonna do a reading in regards to the two energies that are present in terms of this election cycle where we're at. We first have Biden's energy, which I pulled out the Five of Pentacles. This describes the energy that Biden is in currently. I made another video, but unfortunately it got deleted in the memory. Had some memory storage, so I'm actually having to redo this video. But yes, this particular energy, Biden feels very pushed out. I think he feels very hopeless in this situation right now, if that's a better way of describing it. But more so, he's more worried about, I mean, there is the side of this entire outcome that makes him feel like his efforts were definitely not recognized and they were not admired, or they were undermined severely. And that's how he feels. He feels worn and beaten, and it's like he's in his old age, and it's just, he feels like he hasn't had much help as far as getting maybe his message across. He's a little confused about that. But more importantly, he's more worried right now about his efforts and how far can they go, unfortunately. Especially with the storm that we have coming up. He's worried about how long these efforts that he has made so far, if they will last. The uncertainty that is coming up very, very soon. So, for Trump, I pulled the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is a very difficult card to get, and not in terms of understanding it, but it's just one of those cards you don't really want to see, you know, in terms of, this is someone that definitely feels like they're trying to win this whole thing at any cost. You know, this is someone that definitely will, you know, cut into others just to get the upper hand. Very deceptive about what their true intentions were. Playing mind games, you know, which is true. I think that he's with some of the leaders that he's been talking to lately, like with maybe the tariffs and trades, foreign policy and whatever. Like, he really thinks that, I don't know, he's trying to put up a show, or he might be able to get away with some things. And that's really the energy that he's in right now, as of current. He's really trying to manipulate this situation as much and as far as he can. I don't necessarily, like, it's a mischievous energy. It's definitely not someone that you would want anywhere near power, that's for sure, if I'm being honest, you know. Okay. What do we need to know about this dynamic with, sorry about that. What do we need to know about this dynamic with Biden and Trump? What do we need to know about this dynamic with Biden and Trump? What do we need to know? I'm Interesting. We got the sun. Okay, so I got the sun as an overarching theme of this reading. I've done this particular reading. I mean, I've been trying to consult to see if there are any messages in regards to what we need to know about the election. And I can tell you, even though I've been very neutral-minded, because I don't really like, my either over-optimism, I guess you could say, to try to get into the way of what is the truth, what is the real clarity in the situation. But every single time, the overarching theme or outcome is always positive. So it doesn't feel that way though. It really feels like we are being played. It really feels like we're being abused. It feels like we're really being tugged at the strings. And we feel bad for Biden because we really feel like he did not get that. It just complete lack of respect for Biden and all his efforts. That's how we feel. And so we just can't possibly think, like, how can things be positive out of this, right? But there is one thing that I did just sense right now, and that is that upon stepping back of this situation, this is a particular struggle, whether it is internal or externally, that at the very least, it's out in the open. Everybody can see this. The whole world, literally, the entire world is watching this unfold. And so at the end of the day, in terms of, again, like the overarching thing, like overall, generally, it's gonna end up good for us in the long term. It just doesn't really feel like that right now. I think also this dynamic between Trump and Biden, like, it's also revealing sort of how naive, anyways, both of them played in maybe understanding what are the true issues that are facing America and what are trying to get the real message across, or there's a lot of naivety is how I see it. I was first thinking of children, but honestly, it's really naivety between both sides, to be quite honest. I'm not really, honestly, I think even on both sides, not really knowing what to do next. Even Trump, that he's found himself in this situation. The thing is that, like, I think we all know that Trump is definitely being placed up there, and there are more, I guess you could say, more ambitious forces behind him. It's not really just him. And so, to be quite honest, even though Trump has gained this, like, he has won this spot at all costs, even if it meant lying and manipulating and trying to tether the system, like, the reality is he feels really, like, inexperienced. Trump feels very inexperienced in the situation he's found himself in. Like, he almost feels kind of just like, wow, I actually am in this situation again. It's not that he doesn't like the attention, because we all know he has he's pretty egotistical. So he's taking it while he can, but there is a more deeper essence as far as the whole reading is concerned, where he is like, he's half and half. One, he's, he feels like he's got this, like, but deep down he is quite terrified about how exactly is he going, because when you have a very fragile ego, I guess you could say, a large narcissistic ego, however you want to say it, you have a compulsive need for attention, winning at all costs, really having to be the upper hand in almost every situation. But at the same time, it's infantile, because you know that when things mess up, and in this case, there's a lot that could go wrong, because the second time around, there's a lot more that can definitely be found out now than we did in over 4 years ago. And I think that really, that's actually, it scares him. I don't necessarily see him like crawling into like a corner and crying, but it does make him feel like, he just feels like he's like inexperienced. And I think it was also a shock to him, actually, that he won. I actually, I really feel like he feels that it was a shock, it was a surprise that he actually won the presidency. He didn't think he could, actually. Okay, so we're gonna get some Oracle, my favorite, because I like how Oracle sort of, it helps bring any additional messages that might be wanting to be sent across, and also just, it's also words of wisdom. It helps us understand the direction that this particular message you're reading is trying to come, and it tries to give some inspiration or some hope. So that's why I really like oracles. Okay, so what messages do you have in terms of this dynamic? Mending. Interesting. I think this card, honestly, really the first message that comes to me, at least, is that this really indicates that this particular dynamic, especially if you have, I'm gonna say more so family members, then you might have like lost, honestly, maybe respect for, or understanding or connection because of what's been going on with our politics. I think this is just reminding you to just mend those relationships, try to see it outside of for what it is, and just try to understand a lot of the people that supported Trump, they're not bad people, and try to understand that they were lied to, you know, and a lot of them were lied to. It wasn't because they were evil or, you know, this, that, whatever. I think that really the grand majority of them is just, they might have just been struggling in some sort of way, and this whole movement has been an escape for them, you know, in some way. So this is reminding that, yes, it's difficult to be in these situations, and it's hard to mend relationships, especially with things that we feel very strongly about. But this card is definitely calling. It's definitely calling for that.